everybody, this is Andrew here, and in this review, I have for you the Stealth Operations Iron Man suit from the Iron Man 2 3 3/4 inch toy line. As you can see, this is the new packaging for Iron Man 2 action figures, and I have to say that I like it a whole lot more than the first Iron Man toy packaging. Here's a close-up view of the front of the packaging. Stealth Operations Iron Man is part of the first wave of this toy line. I think the artwork on the corner here is quite good. Here is the back of the packaging. Once again, you have the large picture being the figure that is included in the package, along with some smaller pictures of other figures that are available in the line. You also have a small write-up as to why Tony Stark created the Stealth Operations Iron Man suit. Let's open it up and see what this figure has to offer. And here he is out of his plastic prison. As you can see, he's pretty darn shiny. And even before removing him out of the package, I was extremely impressed with how this guy looked. Hasbro really seems to know how to make a good quality 3 3/4 inch figure. Here's a close-up of the figure here. Here's a close-up of his face and chest. Now he comes with some extra stuff. A repulsor blast beam that attaches to his hand to make it look like he's shooting at someone. A display stand. And 3 Iron Man schematic technical cards, which when combined in the different layers, you get a complete Iron Man schematic of your figure. Now the cards go on to this little area right here. And if you notice, there are 3 slots for each card. And all you have to do is, you take the back card, you put it in the back, make sure everything is lined up. You take the middle card, and you carefully place it into the middle slot. And finally, you take the top card and you place it on the front slot, ultimately giving you a nice display that is almost three-dimensional like of your figure. Now the repulsor blast is basically a rubbery plastic yellow piece that isn't exactly the most flattering looking thing they could have made, but I guess it's better than the snot booger launchers that were available in the first line. And basically you can choose whether you want it from your left or right hand of the figure, but one thing to note is to be careful when inserting it, because as you can see, his hands have fingers that are open. They're not molded together or anything like that, so you don't want to apply too much pressure and break one of his digits off when doing this, and it is a tight fit. And I know there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to go there. Basically, there's a hole here for his hand to fit into, and you just gently work it in. And usually his thumb or his pinky will not want to cooperate at first, so you just sort of have to convince them to work with you, gently of course, and you get an effect like he is shooting his repulsor blast from his palm. And he does have them on his palm, by the way, as well. The repulsor blast things. Yes, I'm very technical with this, I know. But you see it right there. His head cannot look up or down, but it can go all the way around. His arm at the shoulder can go all the way around, swing out, twist of the shoulder all the way around. He can bend his elbow about that far, And he can bend it back a little bit to make it look like he's got a broken arm. He can also pivot at the ball joint on his elbow. And he can twist at this point right here on his arm. He doesn't have any hip articulation because it's located up here just above the abs. He can rotate all the way around, and he can move forward and back. I'm not a fan of the ball joints here at the legs, because in order for you to get him to move where you want him to, you have to finagle with him in order to find where the joints line up for him to move. And that involves a lot of twisting and turning in order for you to get the desired result. But his leg can move forward about that far. Doesn't move very far back, unfortunately. He moves to the side rather decently. Rotates all the way around. He's got a double jointed knee, which allows him to move not just up to here on a normal joint, but also he can nearly kick himself if he wanted to. His foot is basically a ball joint. It could pivot up and down a little bit, and it can rotate all the way around. Another thing that I like about this new size is that he fits in much better with the Ironmonger from the first Iron Man movie toy line. And here's a size comparison. As you can see, he goes well with other 3 3/4 inch action figures from different lines. And also shown for comparison is the first Iron Man movie toy line, the Mark III, in the back, along with the Ironmonger. Final thoughts on this figure. In a nutshell, I think Hasbro once again has knocked this one out of the park. Although when I first took them out of the packaging, the joints were a little bit on the stiff side and it took some muscle to get them to work properly. But once I got them going, everything seems to work just fine for me. Do I recommend them? Absolutely. I really think they're well worth the money. This is Andrew. Hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.